Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of One-on-One Sports on the Web. I'm your host, Billy O'Riordan, joined by our senior soccer analysts, Alex Sharon and Paulo Delafeld. Gentlemen, spring has sprung here at Elon, which can only mean one thing. It's time to get excited for the World Cup. So to start off this discussion, what do you say we start with my favorite topic with any international event? How are Americans going to do?
Our Americans actually got pretty lucky with the draw. They could have had a lot worse group. But looking at the group, you see who they're playing. I think that they'll get a solid second-round finish in this group. I don't see them beating England as possible. But I mean,
upsets are always possible. England chokes better than anybody when it comes to the World Cup.
They do, but I actually think that a second-place finish would actually be better for us because I see us matching up better against Germany, who's most likely going to win their group, than Ghana.
I would never like to match up against Germany if I can help it, especially if I'm choosing between Germany and Ghana. Come on.
I mean, I'm just scared. I think that Ghana's a little bit faster. Germany's more powerful. We could play against a slower team.
Yeah, I also see the U.S. coming out second in that group. I mean, England has been playing spectacular lately. I think a key part to the U.S. making this a good World Cup is they have to work on their defense. Mm-hmm. In the 2006 World Cup, they earned 6 goals and ended up last in their group, as well in the Confederations Cup, losing to Italy and Brazil 3-0 first in their first 2 groups.
Well, that was an impossible group that we put ourselves in the Confederations Cup. With Brazil and Italy, that's terrifying.
True, but then if you look, after you guys played Egypt and Spain, and you received no goals, and look where you got to the final against Brazil, playing a very good game and almost forcing a penalty shootout.
Up 2-0 in that game, almost had it. Now, you guys mentioned the group that the U.S. has found themselves in, and it's a pretty decent group. So, Paulo, I'm going to start with you. I want to know what other groups you're excited about to watch this World Cup, and also what high-class teams you think are going to have a pretty easy way into the knockout round.
Well, I mean, you got to say Group G. I mean, Brazil, Portugal, North Korea, and Ivory Coast. Maybe not North Korea, but the first three, Ivory Coast, Brazil, and Portugal, will definitely be playing it out. I also want to watch Italy defend its title, Paraguay. New Zealand maybe not be the best team, but I think Slovakia and Paraguay could do a really good fight with Italy. Easy groups, I'm going to say. Spain, definitely Spain has an easy group. It always has an easy group. Maybe this year they can finally show up and win a title for their first time. And I want to say Germany also has an easy group.
Now, and it's okay, you were talking about North Korea in Group G, and you didn't want to just come out and say that they don't stand even a tiny bit of a chance to go anywhere, and they don't. They'll be lucky if they score. Let's be perfectly honest. But Alex, we'll go to you. What are you looking for?
I'm just going to talk about the Argentinian group in Group B. I'm scared for Argentina here that they might not even make it to the round of 16. They're right now the best rated group by FIFA in their group. But I could see them losing to Greece. I could see them losing to Nigeria, who they're with. I could even see them having a tie with South Korea, who's played phenomenal in the friendlies. Mm-hmm. That's a bad situation for Argentina and Diego Maradona, who's their coach, and pretty bad one at that.
Yeah.
And also going back to Group F with Italy, I know you want to try and make it seem like there's some competition in that group, but come on. Paraguay, New Zealand, Slovakia.
Paraguay played an excellent qualifier, finishing second only to Brazil. I mean, it was first for a really long time during the qualifiers and then ended up staying second place.
And then Brazil kind of realized they were supposed to be playing soccer.
Yeah. Yep. And then, I mean, Slovakia has rising stars like Hamsik, who plays for Naples, knows the Italian team. I'm pretty sure Slovakia and Paraguay will do a good fight with Italy.
We all hope for some competition. Now, Alex, you mentioned earlier how some of the friendly games were going out. South Korea had a pretty good game recently. And I want to talk about the friendlies and how you think the teams in the World Cup are starting to shape up and which teams actually look the most well-prepared coming into the World Cup.
I know we want to talk about the most well-prepared teams, but the things that stood out to me the most in the friendlies were the teams that need work.
Okay.
I mentioned Argentina before and how I was scared for them, but they beat Germany 1-0 in Munich, something that never should have happened.
Right.
You've got Maradona, who was the greatest player ever for Argentina and now the worst coach ever, who's destroying that team. He's playing Messi at random positions, just not where he's supposed to be. And Germany goes in there and doesn't score a goal. They don't do anything worth mentioning, and I'm scared for Germany coming into the Cup. If they don't improve, they need to start figuring something out.
Yep, and give up like a horrible goal against Higuain, who just shoots from like almost half field with the goalie coming out to protect the ball. I mean, you saw poor defense, did not capitalize on their scoring opportunities. I think Germany does need to work on their defense and on their offense.
Any other friendly matches you particularly noticed?
Well, I've watched Brazil beat 2-0 Ireland. Even though Ireland's not going to the World Cup, you have to admit
We're Irish.
Brazil played a beautiful game. The second goal by Robinho was just spectacular. I also want to look at the 3-1 victory by England, who was one down, then ended up beating 3-1 Egypt with goals of Peter Crouch and Sean Wright-Phillips.
Egypt's a strong team too.
Yeah.
Just finished in the finals, African Nations Cup. That's a good team. And here at One on One, we'd also like to send our condolences to all the Irish fans out there, including myself, on getting robbed out of this last World Cup.
Okay, it's over, Billy. Come
Yeah,
on.
apparently so.
Well, speaking of robbing, I think Spain showed itself how strong of a team it is by beating France 2-0 in the Stade de France. France, I don't know what's going on. Ever since Zidane left their team, they have no chance at winning any World Cup soon.
Well, lastly, guys, real quick, it's not right to go through a discussion without talking a little fantasy. So, with all the best players in the world playing this summer, which player would you want the most on your team?
The guy I'd want on my team the most is a clear leader. He loves the game. He doesn't play for the money. He doesn't play for the fame. He plays for the fans, and that's got to be Kaká. He's the next big playmaker in Brazil. He wears that number 10 jersey proudly, and he's just there to help the team. He's there to boost it. He's a good clubhouse presence.
Paulo, what about you?
Well, I'm going to go with his teammate from Real Madrid, Cristiano Ronaldo. I think Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the best players in the world right now. If you look at him, his 16 games with Real Madrid, 14 goals, I think that pretty much states of his offensive power. And then he's just such a dynamic force in Portugal's team that
He's a great player, he is.
He's a great player, but I don't see him bolstering my team into performing better than they can, and I think Kaká could easily do that.
well, we have to see that Portugal did get to fourth place last year, did get to the semifinals, losing to France, and Cristiano Ronaldo was behind that team as well.
You guys are both wrong. You need a goalie in order to have the best team, and that's why I'd take Iker Casillas. But that's all the time we have here for today. But be sure to check out our website and other webcasts, and make sure to check our show every weekday at 9:30, 12:30, and 5:30 on ESTV, channel 14. Until then, for Alex Sharon, Paulo Delafeld, I'm Billy O'Riordan, and whose side are you on?